Hey guys, so tonight we're going to talk about how to get an unpermitted conversion to a legal ADU. This is a question, and I know everybody says, "Oh, I get this question asked often." This is probably the question I get asked the most often is how to convert an illegal ADU, so an illegal garage conversion that you probably put up some drywall, some electrical, plumbing, quick plumbing, and how to turn that into a legal ADU. Everybody thinks it's going to be a quick fix. And I'm going to show you exactly why it's not a quick fix and probably why it's going to cost you a lot more than if you just had a plain old garage that you wanted to convert into an ADU. And everybody that tells me, hey, I'm trying to get my unpermitted ADU, my unpermitted garage conversion to a legal garage conversion, like getting plans done, if you have not gotten caught by the city, I say don't touch it, leave it as is, keep doing what you're doing. If you haven't gotten caught in 20 years, keep doing what you're doing because it's going to be a lot more than you think. Everybody thinks an illegal garage conversion is, oh, I just got to get some permits done. And that's what everybody from the planning department and the building department will tell you. Like the city officials will tell you, yeah, all you got to do is just, you know what, submit paperwork and you'll get it done quickly. I'm like, dude, stop. Like, they just realize every time you go into the city, they want you to get out of there as quick as they can. So they're going to tell you what you want to hear. So you get all pumped up and then submit plans. Then they know you have an illegal conversion, right? If you want to change it, that's cool. If you want to make it permitted, that's cool. But if you've been doing it for 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, and you had it like that, just leave it like that. It's not legal advice, but that's what I recommend. Don't touch it. Just keep doing what you're doing. And I'm going to explain to you why it's going to cost you a lot more money than you think to get it from unpermitted to permitted. So, first off, you already put up your drywall. Whoever's going to go inspect the property, they don't have x-ray vision, right? So they can't see the electrical you've done. They can't see the plumbing you've done. And let's just say you've done everything great on the plumbing, right? More, more than likely, the plumbing from your illegal conversion is not ran properly, like the sewer line. Most of the time, they just connect it straight to the house. Code in California, you have to pass it all the way to the front of the property. The sewer line has to connect to the front. So it can't connect to the house. It has to connect to the front part of the house. So in case the house gets backed up, your ADU doesn't get backed up as well. So they're two separate things. So that's one thing, right? Another thing, they're called shear walls. It's kind of like you have to put plywood inside the walls. Sometimes they call for exterior shear walls, sometimes interior. So you have to put this plywood kind of to make it earthquake proof, right? That's by code. If you've already had nice, beautiful tile, just think about it. And it's usually in garage conversions, it's usually in every corner. You have nice, beautiful tile, right? And you're like, but Eric, it's already done. The tile's good. Everything's good. Okay. Now, my question I ask the people, I say, hey, I need to put in shear walls by code. This needs to happen by code. How am I going to put that piece of plywood, sheets of plywood, not like a little piece. We're talking about full sheets in the back of the tile. Oh, well, do you really have to do it? Yes, it's code. It's code. I really have to do it. So, just in theory, I'm going to have to break everything you already have to do that. Right? How am I going to run the sewer line properly to the front of the house? Let's just say the bathroom sits in the back of the garage and you have to run to the front. They more than likely tapped it off from the side and straight into the house to the side. We have to run it down the middle. Oh, you got beautiful floor. Guess what? Your beautiful floor has to go. So this is why I always tell people, like, dude, if you already done it and you've been having it like that, I'm not a hater of it. Like, cool, keep it that way. Like, but don't come over here and telling me like, oh, is it that much cheaper because I already have it done? No, it's going to be that much more expensive because I got to do a lot more demo work. Tons more demo work. Tons more things we got to throw out. So it's going to be that much more expensive. Another thing, there's this thing called, for you guys that don't know, and I know I give a lot of like information on all these ADUs, and I try to keep it as simple as possible, just so you guys can be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Let's roll. Let's rock. There's a thing called Title 24. So in Title 24, it's all this thing about being energy efficient. You need to have a mini split in there by code. By code, you need to have a mini split, something to keep the place warm. By code, you need to have certain types of windows. You need to have so much light going into your ADU. And guess what? Most of unpermitted conversions don't have any of that. They don't have those windows. They don't have that much light going in there. Oh, and here's another thing. They don't have the insulation required by Title 24. So there's specific type of insulation we need to use on the top and the bottom. And guess what? When the inspector signs off, he goes and checks that out. Oh, okay, they use the right insulation. Sometimes they make us even hire somebody else to write a report about Title 24. So we have to hire like an inspector outside of the city to do that for us. Right? So there's so many pieces to it that, like literally when somebody tells me, oh no, el de la ciudad, speaking in Spanish, el de la ciudad no me dijo que va a ser algo rápido. I'm like, dude, stop fucking kidding yourself. Like, it's not. And they think I'm the asshole because I'm telling them the truth. The guy from the city just wants you out of there. Get out of here. Stop bugging me. Like, I got to go back there and be on my TikTok. Come on, that's what it is. Like, that's truthfully what it is. And a lot of people think I am BSing them. Like, I'm like, dude, don't waste your time. There's so many things. And anybody that's in construction knows how much it is that you cannot turn an illegal conversion legal and think it's going to be a quick fix. It's going to cost you a lot more than you think. So if you have an illegal conversion right now and you want to make it legal, hey, it's cool. But just know you're going to have to pay the price, right? It's going to be a lot more than just me going into a garage and just converting it like normally, right? If you've been getting away with it and the city hasn't cracked down on you, don't trip. Just keep enjoying it. I'm not a hater of that. Keep enjoying it. Keep it like that. So if you guys have questions, I know you guys have been typing in questions. Go ahead and in the question mark. I'm glad to answer any questions about unpermitted ADUs, about permitted ADUs. Hey, Eric, but I already have a sink in there. Like, cool. Like, but guess what? That sink is not going to be up to standards of what we're going to have to do for architectural plans. Hey, Eric, but I already have a toilet in there. Great, but you know what? The toilet's just one small piece. More than likely, you ran it straight into the house, so that sewer line needs to be redone. Is it better to start from scratch? I would absolutely say yes. Like, this is a true story. I had a client in the city of Downey. Neighbor called on him. Oh, shit. Okay, cool. The project was done beautifully. It really was. Not legal, but beautifully. It was done beautifully. I can't help them because there's a lot of things that we needed to do to get up to code. We had to run the sewer line all the way to the front. Inspector needs to see how the sewer line's running inside to the toilet. So guess what? It was done perfectly. Like, not perfectly. It was done nicely. We still needed to do the shear walls, everything I just mentioned. We had to tear everything out and start from scratch. It hurt her heart. It really did. But she said, F my neighbor. I'm going to get it done right, and I'm still going to do it. So I was like, props, let's roll. So that's what we did. So it does happen, guys. Your neighbors do snitch, people do snitch, and you just got to get it done right. How does the inspector know of any illegal garage? They don't. They don't know. They don't know if it's illegal or not legal. What happens is your neighbor calls or somebody calls, and they're like, hey, there's somebody living back there. I'm going to make a complaint. Then they check it in the system. Then you get red flag, and that's how they find out. And now you either take it all down, bring it back to garage, or you're going to have to, if you want to do an ADU, you're going to have to pay a little bit more. Neighbor called on us in Fullerton, and we are going through the same situation. Code enforcement said no big deal, but we shall see. Yes, F the neighbor. Dude, code enforcement will always tell you what you want to hear. The city will always tell you what you want to hear. But what really matters is when you turn in architectural plans, when you turn them in, and they give you a stamp of approval, hey, this is what we want done, or make these corrections. That's what really matters. And most of the times, from what I've seen, is what people actually do to what it is, it's two different stories. Let's see. Any other questions, guys? Let me know. Where do you work at mostly in Los Angeles? What about Inland Empire? We really just stay in the LA area. It just works better like that with our crews, with everybody involved. Just being real. Gas is up. It really is. If it takes us that much more to get to your project, it's going to cost you a little bit more because it's not one trip we're doing. In an ADU, it's many trips. And our guys got to go. So then they got to go out of their way too. So, it's just going to cost you more if we're a little further away. So that's why we like staying close. So if you're going to hire a contractor, it's okay. Sometimes, you know what? A project's a little further. I totally get it, but we try to stay as close as possible. Let's see. Any other questions, guys? Would greatly appreciate it. How do you recommend getting started? If you're talking about getting started in an ADU, step number one, which a lot of people say go to the city. You know, I used to say that, to be honest. You don't got to go. If you have a single family residence, you can build an ADU on your property in the state of California, unless you live like in some sort of like agricultural world, or your property is like something weird. But once you call an architect, hey, architect, get over here. You pay a fee, you know, pay $300, and that's another thing, guys. If you guys are gonna get people to like, and you're serious about the project, don't waste people's time. Call them. Hey, I'm gonna like if you're serious about working with 2 or 3 different people, call them. That's cool. But don't waste people's time just because you want to know. Oh, I just want to know. Like, dude, I don't got time for you to want to know. It's either we're in or we're out. So once you call the architect, they're gonna tell you, hey, yeah, it's that's step one to get started to build the ADU. You get your architectural plans, and then once those are approved by the city, after they're approved by the city, the contract you give them to a contractor and they start bidding on it. What we do, we just like taking everything all at once, from architect, construction to like, hey, keys are in your hand. Go get a tenant. If you need help with getting a tenant, I'll walk you through the process on that too, because I've done it myself. You see, a lot of these people teaching about ADUs and hey, I'll build your ADU. They've never done an ADU for themselves. I actually have a rental that from like an ADU rental, like about 3 blocks away from here. So I've done it myself. Are you willing to take a project in Compton? Yeah, give me a call, man. Send me a DM actually, and I'll help you out, bro. I know you've told me that probably a few times already. So let's see what's up with Compton. I really don't like working in Compton, but we'll make it work. What's the average price of an ADU? That's another question I get so often. What kind of ADU? Are we talking about a 400 square foot ADU, or are we talking about a 1,200 square foot new construction? It just varies a lot. So a little bit more specifics on that would really help. Let's see. Can you do a 2-story ADU, but one of the floors be underground? Oh, shit. Okay, you probably can. But the amount of money you're going to have to pay to get that done, I strongly doubt, unless you got millions in your bank account, that would be the right fit for you. Do all garage conversions require solar panels? 0 garage conversions require solar panels. What requires solar panels is new construction. So if you're doing new construction, that's what's going to require solar panels. How much more property taxes do you pay on an 800 square foot garage? So once you get the ADU done, you have 2 different property taxes. You have the existing one, that doesn't change, and then they just do the new one, right? The cool thing, like even for my property that I have just a few blocks away here, they're not valuing ADUs as high right now. So my property taxes didn't go up much, which is cool. I'll take it. Like, it's still giving me good rental income. An architect told me 3 to 5K for drawing sounds fair to me. What do you think? I really think that's cool, actually. But here's another thing about architects, guys. There's from architects to architects. Like, you know, there's from restaurant to restaurant. Like, it's just different, guys. So an architect could either make your project or completely crush your project. So it really depends. Make sure you hire the right architect. Like, he could draw a plan. Hey, I drew a plan. Here you go. Now you deal with the city. Like, that's not a real architect. And they could charge you $3K for that. That's not the real architect. The real architect, today, he charges you even $6K. But he says, boom, what do you want? This is what we're going to do. Okay, great. In 3 months, he comes back. Hey, your plans are approved. Go pay the permit fees. That's the real architect you want, not the other BS that I see so much happening that it's just like, oh, here's some plans. Let me draw them up for you. Like, anybody could draw plans, but who could get it done? Who could get it processed? Who could make it happen to make sure your plans are approved with the city and you're ready to build? That's a different story. Let's see. Let's see. What is a requirement for solar panels on new construction? I literally, straight up, I let my architect worry about that. I don't know. But if it's new construction, it's going to require solar panels. The amount, how many, how much, I don't concern myself with that. I let my architect, like, I do what I do good, and I let the people that what they do, I let them do that. So literally my architects handle all that. Let's see. Does an extension to a single home require panels? No, it doesn't. So the question is, does Does an extension to your house require solar panels? No, you could add new construction to your house and you'll be absolutely fine. So we've done that many times in different projects and no solar panels required. Are there grants for ADUs? Yes, there is. I'm not well versed on them. What I do know is they're hard to get. You know, they're not the easiest thing to get. I had one person send me paperwork for the bank that I have to fill out as a builder to be so they could be qualified for the loan. So, you know, I'm gonna do them the favor. I'm gonna do this person the favor and do that for them for the project. But a lot of builders won't take the time to actually go through the paperwork to make sure you go through that loan, because then they don't even know if you're gonna use them or not. Let's see. How long after buying a home should you wait to convert a garage into an ADU? It really depends. If you have the money, like start on it. Like I don't see what's wrong with it. Like you can literally. So on one of the projects that I had, we were in escrow and we were already pulling permit plans for. We were already starting with the architectural plans for the ADU. So if you have the money, you're ready to go, and you know it's gonna be a right play for you, like do it. You know. If not, and you need to save some cash to get it going, then you know the answer for that. Would like to convert a garage. It's a one vehicle. Can it be possible? So it's going to be expensive for a one car garage. Like it's not like, I don't think you're going to get that much. Even if you decide to rent it out, I don't think it's going to be that much you're going to rent it out for, because we're talking about one car garage. It's probably 220, 250 square feet, something very small. And it's going to cost you a lot because you have to run the same sewer, you have to run the same electrical, you have to run the same gas to the place. So it's going to cost you a lot of money. So what I tell people is, if you have a one-car garage and you just want to do a conversion, right? I would say add square footage, probably around 200 to 300, and then you can make it into a one-bedroom, one-bath that you could, with like a little bit more space, that you could rent out for a little bit more money. Average time to build a 800 square foot on the top of an existing home? That's a very tough question, and I know you're waiting for plans to be approved, so it's a very tough question because I haven't seen the plans. I don't know what the extent of the scope of work is. So I would just say, based on what I know, you're looking at a 5 to 6 month project, but it's very tough to say without having the actual plans in my hand to see. How was it meeting Thatch? Like meeting any other person. He's a very nice guy. Very, very, very mindful. His mindset's literally what he says. His mindset's dope. And just being coached by him and going out to dinners with him, soaking up 30 to 40 years of just real estate experience of doing ADUs, detached ADUs and all that. And it's just like, dude, like when he talks, you just and listen. You know, pretty good guy. It's 264 square feet. Yeah, I would definitely add square footage to that. If you're going to try to convert your garage, it's going to cost you a little bit more, but it'll be worth it if you're going to rent it out, especially if you're in the LA area. What's a good amount to start when starting an ADU garage conversion? Not an ADU, an ADU garage conversion. So we're talking about 2-car garage. A good place to start is money-wise, $100,000. That's a good place to start, because even if you run through some hiccups, you're going to be okay. But don't expect to spend anything less than $100,000. Can you still convert a garage into an ADU if within setbacks? Okay, cool. So let's just say your property line's here and your garage sits right next to your property line, and you want to convert this garage over here. You can still do it because it's existing. Now, if you're going to add square footage, let's say the garage is here, and you want to add new square footage, you have to come in 4 to 5 feet. Depends. Talk to your architect. Or if you want to hit me up and you want us to meet at your place, we could help you out with that. But if you're going to add new construction, you got to come into the new setback. If it's what's existing and is already there, you're good. You can start within what's in there already. Do you build RV garages, butler buildings? If you have architectural plans, you see people ask me some weird freaking questions. Like, I've never built an RV garage, but look, It's going to be the same as any other build. With architectural plans, I could get it done. Without architectural plans, and it's funny, when I go to places without architectural plans, it's like, dude, why do I even go? Sometimes I think about it. Oh, I want to remodel my home. They give me 6 different things. Oh, but I want this and this with that. So they want me to give 6 different quotes. I'm just like, dude, are you serious? Like, you're not even sure of what you want, and you want me to give you a price on what you're not even sure of. So, word of advice for all you guys that want to remodel your houses: be sure on what you freaking want. Don't expect a quote for 6 different things, because I won't quote you back. I'll just be like, dude, I just literally wasted my time coming over here. Because if you're not sure, how many other people are you asking to compare? Like, I can understand you want 2 different quotes, but when you want 4 to 5 different quotes on the same damn house, that's crazy. If you have a junior ADU, does the property have to be owner occupied? That's a real good question. So look, we've completed 3 junior ADUs with an ADU. One made the owner sign, the city made the owner sign an affidavit saying they had to live on the property. That is a yes. And that is the Van Nuys area. Another one in Long Beach, they didn't even care. Like, I don't know if they signed something afterwards, but as far as I know, there was nothing signed that they had to live on the property. So take it for what it is. A lot of people, you have to live on it. Like, I don't know if they're sending inspectors to go like spy inside your house at the middle of the night to see if you're sleeping there or not. I don't know. What's easier, extension or converting basement to livable space? We rarely work. I could even say not rarely. We've never worked on basements. In LA, like, we don't have basements. So for us, it's an extension's easier. We've never actually done a basement, like converted a basement, to be honest. Can you give us your life story? Just a dude wanted to do some construction, and I like building these for myself and getting some cash flow for my family. That's it. That's my big story. And this is I own these gyms for about, I would say, 8 years. So I'm in one right now. And they're like little boot camps, so I owned those before. Now my sister owns this, and I just walked away and focused with my pops in construction. But I come here often to work out and just do my own little thing here. So that's kind of my life story. Does that 100K include permits? For a garage conversion, more than likely it's gonna be close to there. I couldn't tell you it's gonna be over or under, but you're gonna be close on the 100K. It really just depends on the city. Let's see. What's the best way to market your construction business and starting? Here. Social media is literally the best way to market any business. So you guys trying to do nails, you guys trying to do construction stuff, gyms, anything, it's social media. We do a lot of Google as well. So Google, TikTok, Instagram, that's like our top 3 that we stick to. So definitely works for construction. Do you guys work in North Hollywood? Yes, we do. Hit me up, send me a DM. Have you heard of concrete wall required if stairwell is within 10 feet of adjacent property line? LADBS code 1027.5. Damn, that's a hell of a code, yo. Honestly, I haven't, bro. Or the great example, so I don't know if you're a bro or not. But I haven't. Once again, those things, I let my architect handle them, and then he relays it to us, and then we're like, okay, cool, let's roll, let's do this, let's change that. I don't fight with the codes. It is what it is. It's like people are like, oh my God, you're so horrible that you do ADUs and we're killing parking. Oh my God, what do I do? I'm like, dude, that's not my fault. That's state law. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, it's here whether you like it or not. Shouldn't we compare shop though? Yeah, so you're asking if you should compare and shop around? Absolutely. I'm telling you, we're at around $100,000 for an ADU garage conversion. Other people might be cheaper. I just know based on my profit margin for myself, my company, and to feed my family, I need to be there. It's not me trying to rip people off. That's what we need to be at in order to have a successful business. Other people don't treat their construction as a business. They treat it as like, oh, I'm staying busy. Like, cool, stay busy. If I'm gonna break even, I'd rather just stay home and do nothing and be playing PlayStation, watching Netflix. Like, that's the way I see it. So, do I say yes, shop around? Absolutely. But just know this: when you get a cheaper price, people bail, and people could get red in the face and tell me, Eric, you're just BSing. No, that's not true. I see it every single day. Like, hey, Eric, guess what? My contractor walked off on the project. Oh, really? How much they charge you? Oh, $60K. Gotcha. I can't even break even. I would have to lose money to do it at $60K. So I would have to do it for free and lose money in the process. So it could be done. Just telling you what happens, and what I see more frequently that happens is people end up with their project just ruined and they don't know what to do anymore. Let's see. What's the best way? Oh, I already answered that. What's the best way to market your construction business, or any business? Social media. So here's another question. How often do you advise building a room above a 2-car garage? You can't necessarily build a room per se. You could build an ADU. Let's say you want to build an ADU. It's going to be 2 stories, right? So I'm asking you guys a realistic question. Let's say you have a house that's in the 1950s, 1960s, and you have a garage back there. That's a 60-year-old foundation. Now you want to go 2 stories, right? Like, do you guys think what's there is going to be able to hold it up to go 2 stories? Or is it going to have to be reinforced? So everybody always thinks it's like literally just cut off, add on. Doesn't happen that way. It really doesn't. But so I would say if you have the budget, go for it. If not, I would say just keep it moving, get a garage conversion going, and make it quick and easy so you can get some rental income. Or if you want to have your family in there, cool, have your family in there. But something that's going to be quick and is going to be able to be done fast, guys. And that's another thing. Hire somebody that could get it done quickly for you. And I don't mean like 6 weeks, oh, we're done with the whole ADU. No, somebody that could get it done in a few months, but could actually get it done for you. That's the big difference. Because I'm telling you, you guys, like, I go on these lives and I tell you guys, like, I see so many abandoned jobs. So many. And then they just want, like, hey, could you come in and just help me out? Like, no, I can't. You wasted all your budget on some dumbass. That's your fault, not mine. Let's see. If there's a city light pole in my backyard, can I build a 2-story? Can I build a 2-story? I don't know. Ask your city. You're going to go to the city planning and ask them that exact question. That is very specific to you and your property. Does the 100K get paid up front, or how does this work? Cool. So let's see. So, I was going to draw it up. I just explained to you guys. So, let's just say you start with your architectural plans. That's a percentage. Once plans are approved and construction starts, that's another percentage. Once inspections are passed for foundation, that's another percentage. Once inspections are passed for all the rough plumbing, electrical, sewer line, all that good stuff, mechanical, that's another payment. Once drywall's up, that's another payment. So it keeps going by phases passed in the project. Don't give anybody tons of money up front. That would be stupid. Don't do that. Like, give them based on inspections passed and phases in the project. Like, if we're going to start, let's just say your architectural plans. Like, of the total budget, there should be something up front. Doesn't mean a lot. Should be something up front. In the next stage, once you start construction, they need to pay, your contractor needs to pay for labor and materials to get started and demo, get all that out. Guess what? You're going to have to give them another small percentage. And it keeps going like that until the project's finished. Most contractors are against this. I'm for this. Watch. This is what we do. We are usually behind on the payments with most of our clients. What do I mean by that? Like, we do all the roughs and we ask for a percentage. So at the end of the day, and this is just to gain their trust. Like, I want you to actually trust me. So I know when you're first giving out 10, 15, 20,000, you're like, shit, is this guy going to come through? Hey, Let me get it passed so you have no doubt that I'm going to finish. And then give me a little bit more. So I'm kind of funding the project, which is cool, but you're trusting us. I'd rather you trust me than be like, dude, I'm not going to give this guy the money. I don't know if he's going to spend it on the right things or not. So that's what we do. Most contractors are against that. They say, oh, I'm not going to fund anybody's project. That's fine. You don't have to. We do it just to gain the person's trust. Like, there's no doubt whatsoever that we're not going to finish. And that's what we do. Everybody's happy. You know what? People are like, dude, I feel like we haven't paid you. Yeah, I get it. And then we ask for the payment once everything's clean and done. Hope that answers your question. When you say you're at 100 grand for an ADU garage conversion, is that 400 square feet? It could be. It's around there. Yes. Contractors will walk off. You're damn right they will. It's the contractor 101 creed, man. I wish it wasn't like that, but most of them just say, fuck this. I undercharged. I ain't making shit on this project. Let me walk off, and too bad. You won't hear from them again. They'll block your phone number. You can't bug them on Instagram, because I'm like the only contractor that actually has a real Instagram, you know. So, I don't hide from people. That's why even if we lose money, I'm gonna finish the project, because I can't hide from anybody. Like, you guys will be blowing me up through here, or get bad reviews, or all that stuff. Which, guys, if you guys are getting some good info, like, do me a favor, like a huge favor, look up Esco Builders on Google and just slap a review there. Like, give me a little 5-star review. Be like, dude, this guy's awesome. He's helping us out. You know, we're learning stuff from the guy. Esco Builders Inc. in Downey, and just hook me up with a little review on Google. It'll work tons for us. Let's see. Definitely gonna have to do a new foundation for a 2-story ADU. Absolutely. I'm in Lancaster. Want to convert my 2-car garage. Would you be able to recommend someone in my area since you don't work out of LA? Look, honestly, I won't recommend any contractors. Like, one contractor I recommend, and he's like in the Van Nuys area. That's it, because I know he'll deliver. But other than that, I don't recommend people. I really don't, because if they get done dirty, because it happens, guess what? I recommended you, so my name's on the line. So there's literally one other contractor I recommend. That's it. Bring the questions, guys. I'm glad to help you guys. If my foundation is cracked in my garage, should I just redo the foundation? If you're trying to convert your garage, I would say yes. Redo it. What we usually do is, just when it's cracked, we'll just put like a slab on top of 4 inches, and that just eliminates the problem altogether. Payments hit fast, so actually have the money ready. That's so true. So payments do hit fast. We're on a project right now. We're on drywall stage right now. We started that project around, I would say, 4.5, 5 weeks ago. And they didn't realize how quick these payments were coming. Not saying they didn't have the money. They do have the money, but it just comes quick. So true. Like, actually have the money ready if you're going to get started on this. Let's see. What happens if they don't pay you? What happens if they don't pay you? Guys, understand, like, I vet people. Like, I truly do. Like, you guys think, oh, I'm vetting my contractor, make sure they do good work. Like, if you guys don't realize, we got work. Work is not what we're worried about. Like, there's work. What I'm worried about, like, are they ethical people? Most of the, like, I have not had nobody not pay us. The only people that have not paid us till the day are investors. That's why I don't work with investors. Like, literally, like, oh, flippers, fix and flippers, we don't touch them. Like, my DMs get blown up by fix and flippers. I said, nope. Like, cool, bro. Like, some of my real good friends are fix and flippers. Like, awesome, bro. Like, I support your business. I'm actually going to a seminar on Thursday for one of my friends that does fix and flips. Cool. I won't work with you, because the type of work they want to the type of work we do is 2 different stories. That's one thing. They're always running short on money because they need to flip the property. So who gets asked out? The contractor, most of the times. So we don't do fix and flip. So those are the only people that haven't paid us, and that's okay. Like, that's a learning lesson. That's why we don't work with fix and flippers anymore. We only work with homeowners that want rental income, or want to rent, or want their family to live there. That's who we work with. And if they don't pay, guess what? If push comes to shove, we put a lien on the property. And whatever movement you do with your property, I have a lien on it. And if push really comes to shove, we could foreclose on the property. So there you have it. That's what happens. How much does an ADU raise the value on average for your property? It really depends on your comparisons around. So I was going to buy a property in Long Beach. There was a lot of ADUs that sold in the area. So that's why I really wanted that property, because the values were there. Because the after repair value of what the ADUs had sold was there. My house, I built an ADU in Downey. That one, they didn't have any ADUs around. So when I refinanced, the value wasn't there as much as I thought it was going to be. That's just the truth. But it's still like great in cash flow. I get a few $1,000 a month from that one property every single month. So let's see. My neighbor got ripped off by a handyman who built their ADU without permits. Oh shit. That already sounds bad. Like, if you're building an ADU without permits, like, at this point, when they're making it that much more accessible for everybody to do it, and you're still trying to do it without permits, you, my friend, your neighbor, is a dumbass. If he knew it was getting done without permits. Now, if he didn't know, that's kind of, you didn't do your homework either. So, double dumbass. How much do you charge per square foot? That is a very tough question. I just can't, like, it's so tough because there's so many variables. Like how long the sewer line's gonna be. How are we gonna do 2 meters for your electrical, or are we gonna do 1? So I really never quote on square foot. Really never do. I like how transparent you are. Thank you for that, dude. I just know how fucking lying this industry is. Like, it's crazy how much they all fucking lie. Like, I don't get it. Why? Like, hey, it's $100,000 for an ADU. You want it? Let's roll. You don't? Cool. Like, there's somebody that will pay for it. Like, you guys notice, based on my stories and my actual page, like, people pay it. People will pay it, right? Now you want an $80,000 ADU, but you're hoping for $100,000 quality. That's a different story. You want a $60,000 ADU, but you want $100,000 service. That's a different story. So everybody puts the price, that they feel they deserve. That's kind of where we're at to start. Now, if you want more stuff, then it's something else, right? But that's where we're at to start. And this is not to brag. This is not to we only do that much. No, this is just to tell you, like, we do quality work and quality service. Like, any of my clients call me right now, straight up, I would answer. They don't, because they have boundaries, but I would answer it because it's probably an emergency. How many contractors would you say would do that? Not many. I recommend you. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I'm sure you get this question a lot. But if I want to save money, could I hire different contractors for different parts of the ADU? Yes, you can. But let me tell you something. And watch, this happened to us in a project. So I'm going to tell you what happens when you try to hire different subs to do the project. And I've experienced this twice already. That's why we do everything or we do nothing on the project. You need to go hire somebody else, straight up. I don't do partials. We don't do subs. We don't do that. And I'm going to explain to you why. So on one project we had, we didn't do mechanical, which is your AC. We didn't do the roof. We didn't do the fire sprinklers. Right? What else didn't we do on that project? I think that's it. So there's always problems because this roofer works the way he works, and he'll give the story to the homeowner. Oh yeah, no, that's the framer's job. That's this person's job. And then who's holding the bag of blending both of the things together? Let's say you have a tile guy, and then you have a drywall guy. And then the tile and the drywall don't match up evenly. Let's say it's a little off. The tile guy saying it's the drywall guy. And you hire them both independently. And then the drywall guy is saying it's the tile guy is saying the drywall guy. And then guess what? Guess who's holding the bag? Guess who's holding the stress? You are. Right? Because none of them are going to do it. And I know there's heroes on here that'll say, "Oh no, I've actually did all the work myself, and I've hired independent contractors, subcontractors, and I manage the whole thing." It's not as easy as it sounds, guys. Like I'm telling you, I deal with this on a daily basis. Like I literally have to like chew out subcontractors sometimes. Like, "Hey, fucker, get over here and get this done." Like I don't care. Oh, it's this guy's fault. No, no, no. We signed it, and this is what you're gonna do. Get it done, right? So, will you save money? Yes. Will your stress levels go up through the roof? Yes, they will too, right? Sometimes they'll walk off on the job from you, and then guess what? What do you do now? Who do you hire? Another drywall guy's not gonna want to come in and fix a job for what you think it's worth. They're gonna charge you a shitload. So you can't save money. More odds than not, you don't save a lot, and you're gonna have a lot more stress. Because, just be truthful, I'm way more efficient at construction than you are. Way more efficient. So my guys, they already know the system. You're gonna patch up like right now there was an all-star baseball game, right? Celebrity all-star baseball game. That's what you're gonna patch up. A bunch of like people that don't really play the sport and just put them all together and see what happens. While we hire the all-star team to do the same thing over and over every time. So it's up to you. It really is. If you don't have the 100K, what advice would you have for a person? One is try to find a way to make more money. I know that sounds crazy. Pick up a second job. Go Uber. Go do different things. Let me give you guys the background story of what happened. So I had 4 gyms pre-pandemic. We've always been in construction, but I built 4 gyms. We were running. Like literally, I'll be truthful. I didn't come to work. Like I didn't work. Like we were like me and my wife were probably traveling the world most of the damn time. Pandemic hit. Boom. Shut up. Like from making thousands of dollars a month and not working to like, oh shit, I got no more money. What do? We've always been in construction, but that's always been my dad's gig, right? It's always been all our gigs because we built we built the gyms with the construction company. So I've always been involved in construction. So it hasn't changed. And then I was like, holy shit, like the gyms are done. I sold 2. I closed 1. And then like the one I'm in, it's the only one I have. And I said, holy shit, what am I going to do? Gotta make money. Or else my kids don't eat. Like literally, I go that dark. Or else my kids don't eat. Or else my wife, like has to like do some crazy shit. Like probably go on OnlyFans or something. I don't know. Right? And I said, well, we're in construction already. I know very much about construction. So let me just fucking crush construction. And you got to make a shift. So if you don't have the 100K, you can make a shift. 1 or 2, save up the cash. Or even 3, get a HELOC or refinance your house if you want to do an ADU. So there's a lot of options. But it's like, how can you do it? Not just say, oh, I can't do it. What's the ballpark figure for a garage conversion? A garage conversion to an ADU, send me a DM, man. A garage conversion is going to run you for 100. So if you want to add square footage, it's going to probably be more. But send me a DM. When doing ADUs, will you also do some projects on the main home? Upgrade the electrical? Yeah. So when we do ADUs, like we have a house right now. We're doing an ADU. And then we're also adding square footage to the house and upgrading the house. So we do multiple things. But construction's construction, guys. That's what you guys have to understand. Like, somebody asked me if I could build an RV garage. Like, yes, it's construction. If you have the plans, we could get it done. So definitely we could do that. Thinking ADU or should I buy another house with my equity? It really depends. It's a tough question to answer. I prefer the cash flow from an ADU. So I'm willing to leave a little bit more money inside the property. I'm cool with that. Because I know eventually, here's one thing you guys got to realize. There's so many ADUs being built. Maybe the value's not there today. Like the after repair value for an ADU. But guess what? In 5 years, 6 years, when houses start selling with ADUs, you're going to be sitting on some nice equity when you build the ADU. So that's what I think, guys. I'm gonna ask you what everyone's scared to ask you. I don't think anybody's scared to ask me anything, to be honest. Do you do financing on your work? For garage conversions, we do financing. Garage conversions. Now, if you want a $400,000 job, No. Garage conversion, I already told you guys what it cost. What we're at, yes, we do financing. Send me a DM if you need some financing. We have a few options for you. Does the city allow for partial garage conversions? Yes, it does. I seen that in Duarte, so yes, it does. Just depends on your city, to be honest. But I've seen it done. What's an estimate on a 2-story, 1,200 square feet ADU? Just do $310 times 1,200. You'll get your answer quick on that. Good question. Can we still live in our home when building an ADU on top of it? More than likely, no. Not more than likely. No, you're not going to be able to live in your home. It doesn't sound easy at all. Hell no. When you're doing your own, like people try to say, oh, I'm going to do it myself, build it out. I'm going to hire the roofer. I'm going to hire foundation. I'm going to hire everybody apart. Like I'm telling you, there's people always talking shit on my post that, oh, I could do it myself. I could hire everybody. I got an uncle that does this. Like, yeah, I get it, dude. I get it. You want to be a hero. I totally get it. But it's not freaking easy. It really isn't. I like your thinking. Dude, I like your thinking, to be honest. Your lives are always super practical. Shit, I just try to keep it real, guys. I really, like literally, we were thinking, like, this is how practical we were thinking when the pandemic happened. Like, that's how practical I was thinking. Like, is my wife going to do OnlyFans or not? Like, we got to get practical, guys. I'm just kidding. Don't tell her that. And if you're on the live watching, love, I'm lying. Hey, bro, I hope you've been well. I have a question about the plumbing. Do I need to connect a pump for a sewer line? I will be connecting to the main sewer line. You're asking for a sump pump, probably. We have added sump pumps to sewer lines for ADUs. It just depends. It really depends on the level of where your garage is and the slope. If you don't have the slope to go all the way to the sewer line, you're gonna have to put in a sump pump. We were actually called out to do it once. The slope wasn't too bad, but they required us to put it. So that was LA City. So could be, could not be. Any other questions, guys? So I really like the OnlyFans joke. It wasn't a joke, guys. We were thinking serious. I have equity in my house. Do you guys think it's better for cash flow, or do I buy another house? Either way, guys. Like, I don't know, man. I can't tell you. Mine's a very biased opinion. I'll be honest. I like ADUs. I like building them for myself. They just seem simple to me. So I say build an ADU. If you're going to do it for your family and you want your family close, shit. I was trying to build an ADU in my backyard for my mom, but she didn't want to move and live with me. That's the only difference. But, you know, I'm for ADUs. But I'm also for being practical. So, check your finances out. Make sure what you want to do, and then go from there. What part of the ADU should I prepare to pay a lot for? For everything. Once again, if you're going to hire partial people, that's a freaking headache unless you've done it before, unless you know how to do it. You should prepare as the whole thing. That's why get a budget that includes everything in it, or mostly everything in it. Like get a proposal, get a quote that almost has everything in it. A lot of people want to say, oh, it's going to be $60,000, but I exclude this, and this. A lot of contractors do that, guys, just so you guys know. And guess what? And you're going to be like, holy shit, it's a lot more than I thought. So what you should prepare to pay more for when it comes to an ADU? Everything. The whole ADU. Prepare for that. Do you commonly include washer-dryer hookups in an ADU? Yeah, it's part of code. You need to have a washer and dryer inside your ADU. We include the hookups. We actually hook up the washer and dryer. We do not buy the washer and dryer. You got to buy it, but we include it in there. Let's see. Let's see. Any other questions, guys? I'm about to hop off. Do you work with middle-class people or high-end people? I work with people that want to do an ADU. I've never even thought of like middle-class, high-class, low-class. Like that shit doesn't matter to me. Like you want to build an ADU, you're ready to roll, let's roll. I don't see if I work with middle-class or low-class. Like Everybody's good with me in my book. Don't mess with me. I won't mess with you. We're all good. Let's roll. Let's see. Here's a good question. Do you tie in the gas main for the new service or tie it into the existing service? I work on gas lines if you ever need something. Thank you, bro. So it just depends what the owner wants to do. What I recommend, because we're running the same gas lines close to the main, even if we're going to connect it to that meter, I always say, hey, just put it next to the existing meter and put 2 meters on your property, just so you could have it in case you ever decide to rent it out, even if it's for family, guys. So, and it doesn't cost much. Like, the city's not going to charge you much on it. So I would just say, like, definitely put 2 meters of gas, because you're still going to do the same work. Your contractor's still going to do the same work. Now it's whether if you want to tap into the existing one or just put in a new one. So I would say just put in the new one, guys. Esco Builders motto is stay classy. You're damn right we are. How much do you charge per square foot in new construction? Between 300 and 310. Do you do separate meters for the ADU you build? So for my ADU, I separated everything except water. I didn't separate water. We separated electrical, and we separated the gas. Most of our clients do the same thing. The reason why we don't do water, guys, because the water is usually on the city side, and they're the ones that do it for you. So they're the ones that are going to charge. Let's see. So this is the question that started the live, because I get it so often, guys. I'm gonna have you go back and watch this live. I'm gonna put it on my page. Is it more expensive to fix an illegal ADU to a legal ADU? So anytime you're gonna fix an illegal ADU, there's no saving it quick. There's no quick fix. That's what the city officials are gonna tell you. That's what everybody's gonna tell you. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. You're gonna have to tear every single thing out and redo it over. The inspector doesn't give a rat's ass if you spend $40,000 on it already. He's gonna say, like, dude, it's not on the plans. It's not permitted. This happens a lot in houses too. When people do additions, and they're nicely done additions, but they didn't go to the city and get permits, guess what? It doesn't fucking matter. It's not a legal addition. It doesn't matter if it looks nice. It doesn't matter if it looks exactly like the house. You're not gonna get the value for it as you should. So I just tell people, just do it right. Do it right. But if you haven't gotten caught by a city, I wouldn't even worry about it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Let's see. How much per square foot on a garage conversion? $100,000 per square foot, and it's 1 square foot, and it's called the whole ADU, the whole garage. So with that, guys, peace out. Thank you, guys. Take care. Adios.